Hello, everybody. I'm an idiot. I just started streaming, but I had it set to private, and I was wondering why nobody showed up in the chat. Well, hopefully, we have some people joining in the chat, and you get to listen to me. So, I'm Kenny Stahl. This is the Kenny Stahl live podcast, video podcast, YouTube live stream, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna let you guys know how I'm doing. It's been a while since I posted any videos or since I live streamed. It's been at least a week, I think, and the past week, I have been going through some very stressful personal things that have been going on. So it's been rough. I have been really struggling emotionally to keep it together with everything that has been going on. So I just want to say thank you so much for your support on this channel. I keep getting more subscribers and I'm not doing anything, and that's giving me encouragement that I need to keep posting more videos and everything. So, um, is this not live? What's going on? No, it is live. Why is it not showing? I gotta refresh the page so I can see everything. I don't know why that's doing that. Is it private again? It better not be private again. I'll be mad. It should be public, hopefully. Yeah, it says it's public. Okay, good, 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 good. Alright, cool. Okay, after having issues. Sound working? Yeah, sound's working. Sorry, I had to check that just to make sure. I didn't want to get too far into the stream without checking all that. Okay, so let's see, where are we at right now? Yeah, I just want to have some real talk with you guys. I just want to talk about some things that I'm passionate about. Let you guys know where my head's at right now. Um, wherever you're at right now in your life, I don't know what's going on for you. I've been going through some very, very stressful things. Um, but whatever's going on for you, like I want to ask you to do yourself a favor. Not for me, but for you. Whatever you're going through in your life right now, which is overwhelming, stressful, maybe there's some things in your life that you regret not doing, maybe there's some things you regret doing, forgive yourself. Like that is the best way to move forward is you have to forgive yourself for anything that you've done that you're not satisfied with. Um so one of the things that I have always been very passionate about, and I know this is going to get into the boring section of the video, but I got to start off by giving a strong speech about something to stand for. This is actually an encouraging thing. Um, I believe in creating at some point in your life standards for yourself and figuring out who you are, what you like to do, and sticking to that structure. And where I'm getting at is I posted something today on my personal page. Let me go look at it real quick to remind myself of what it said. Basically, what I said is that people today, generally speaking, seem to have no standards for themselves. And what I mean by this is you see people slacking off and being lazy in their life, not doing anything. You see people not dressing nicely, not looking nice, not keeping care of their health physically, not working out and everything. And I think the bar is set really low for this, for personal standards. And so, what I want to say to you is that as long as you're trying, as long as you're putting in like any amount of effort whatsoever into yourself, into making yourself a better person, making yourself, advancing in your life, doing things better, you are going to stand out compared to other people. And this is something that you have to listen to if you have like some dreams or some goals for yourself. I don't know what those might be for you, but I mean, you might be like nervous about trying, or you might not be doing it right now. You might be procrastinating to get some things done. You're like, well, I don't know if it's going to be worth it or not. Well, most people in life, they let the opportunities pass by them to make a change for themselves, to live better. And my advice to you is to not let that opportunity go by. Have some standards for yourself, develop those standards, understand what you want for yourself, and live each day to produce the results that you want. Because, I think people today are really captured by entertainment, and I'm like this as well. Like I'm not excluding myself when I talk about this. This is something that is true for the average person. I think that people are so focused on just listening to music and watching TV and movies and getting caught up in partying and everything, which that's all good stuff. I like to party, I like to watch TV, I like to, but there's not a lot of people, at least young people who haven't matured yet or gotten older. I mean, even adults. It doesn't really matter who you are, where you're from, whatever. A lot of people just don't decide to focus on one skill or one career decision, career move, and live their entire life to practice and get better and hone some talent, some skill to get yourself down. Uh, so everybody's just kind of just it seems like a lot of people. Now, I might just be hanging out with the wrong people in my life. Maybe there's some crowds of people who they all are living very, very well, but I think a lot of people just don't have standards for themselves. They let themselves go in a bad way. So, yeah. So my little piece of advice for you is to just keep on trying to make your life better and to make little adjustments to yourself and have some standards for yourself. It's interesting. The reason why I kind of thought about this was because, and this is going to sound really silly, but I remember I saw this girl and she was just dressed really nice. Like, I know that's kind of a stupid thing for me to say. Everybody, like, I'm like the worst person to talk about this because I don't dress nicely. I dress like crap all the time. I don't know how to dress myself. I do, but I don't buy the clothes, whatever. Anyway, so this girl was dressed really nice and she was dressed fairly normally. Like, she didn't like dress completely provocatively, or she didn't dress like she didn't go all out. She just dressed nicely, decently. But other people I was looking at, I was like, man, all these other people don't look as good as this girl. What is this girl doing different than them? And again, this is a stupid example, but I was just trying to think about it. I was like, she's just trying. That's all she's doing. She's trying to look like she wants to look. And she looked decent. She looked nice. She looked beautiful. I shouldn't say that because I have a girlfriend, but she did. So what I would like is to live in a world where we have men and women who set a standard for themselves to be. I mean, I don't mean to like stereotype the genders or anything, like, yeah, like, but there's something about being a man and there's something about being a woman. And I know in today's politically correct world, you're not supposed to say what men are like, what women are like, but I like that idea, that old fashioned idea of what men are like and what women are like. And we don't have that in today's world. And I do feel like if you can try to be, like, for me, I'm a guy, right? One thing that I've always wanted was to look at some of these men that I would see played out in movies, these characters, but they would always like dress in suits and they would always be like a business owner, or they would always be like really, really smooth with the ladies, and they would know how to flirt, they would know how to do all that stuff. They'd be hardworking guys, they'd be uh, charismatic, they'd be polite, they'd be nice, they wouldn't be too whatever. I mean, maybe this is just who I am. Maybe this isn't the same for you. Maybe you got your own little thing. Maybe you don't want to be that kind of guy, but that's the kind of guy that I look up to. So for me, that would be like my standard for myself. If I could envision what I want to be like in my life, it would be suit and tie kind of guy, clean guy, right? Um, cool guy, smooth, flirtatious, uh, always knowing the right thing to say, always being compassionate, whatever. If I held myself up to the appropriate standards for me to be that person, I think I might not be able to get there. I might not be able to be like the people I see in the movies, but I would definitely be a lot better than I am today. And I'd be a lot happier because I'd be fulfilling that idea that I want. So I would like, there to be maybe some strong men and strong women in uh, I guess on YouTube or on TV or whatever, who represent holding yourself up to those standards, to being confident and living out what you want to do, independent and free. And um yeah, so let's see, we got a comment, we got what's up dude, we got hello, we got where are you from. Where am I from? I'm from the United States, so some of you guys are not from the United States, which is most of the people that watch my videos are from the US. And I'm from Michigan. um so yeah, that's interesting. Where are you guys from? There's a few people watching, so yeah, feel free if you want, if you're watching this live right now, to leave a comment in the chat or ask a question. Let me know what you think about me, some of the videos that you've seen so far. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys being here. It's kind of late for me, past my bedtime, I guess. Normally I'd be asleep right now, uh, because I'd have to be at work in the morning. But yeah, and I'm trying to stay awake a little bit, so I'm drinking some soda. So I know soda's not the healthiest thing. Let me crack open a can real quick. Some Pepsi. I like Pepsi. By the way, not sponsored. I'm addicted to soda. I'm addicted to Pepsi. I'm addicted to Mountain Dew. Not the greatest thing in the world. Um, but yeah. So how old are you, dude? I am 22. I just turned 22 in November, about a month ago, actually. So, um, yeah, okay. So I appreciate you guys being here. In let's see, what could I talk about? There's a few things I could talk about. Some really deep stuff if you wanted to get into some of that. I could try to. You know what I've been trying to do lately. This is, maybe you guys aren't interested in this, and I apologize. Something that I've been trying to do lately is uh, I've always had like this really intense fascination and addiction almost to stand up comedy. It's like what I enjoy watching. Some people like to watch sports. Some people like to watch soap operas. Some people like to watch cartoons, anime. Some people like to watch all sorts of different stuff. My thing is stand up comedy. I watch all the comedians. I listen to all the podcasts. New hair. For me, I got a haircut maybe a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I let it grow out, then I cut it so it's short, so I don't have to mess with it. I don't know how to style my hair at all. I have no fashion. I wish I did. No, nothing. Um, let's see. So, what was I talking about? I don't remember. Stand-up comedy. So, I actually have always had this dream of being a stand-up comedian myself. So, I've every once in a while I'd come up with like a premise for like a joke that I would want to write down, and I'd write it down. So today I went back into my Microsoft Word document and looked up some of these ideas. They're not really fully developed jokes. They're just kind of uh, ideas, and it's funny. I'm not good at writing jokes and comedy, but I gotta practice. One day I'll get up on stage. One day I will. And I remember one time I had this class in college, which I'm not in anymore because I dropped out. We can talk about that if you want. And it was a speech class, giving speeches, learning how to deliver presentations. And I remember the feeling of just getting everybody to laugh at a joke that I wrote or told or whatever. It was the greatest feeling to have a whole like audience of like maybe a dozen or 20 people or whatever just laughing what I said, and it was great. Like I got it's crazy. It's interesting because when you're giving a speech or a presentation and everybody laughs, it's like you just made every single person listening to you have the same reaction and the reaction that you wanted. Like you succeeded at what you were trying to do. And that's the way that I felt when I made them laugh. And I was like, okay, I know that I at least have the ability to tell jokes and get people to laugh. So now it's just like, just take it a step further, you know, get on stage, go to a comedy club. That's what I want to do in my life. That is a dream that I have, not the ultimate dream for myself. I don't think that's, I don't want to be like a, who's a good comedian. I don't want to be like a Chris Rock or whoever else is a comedian, Louis C.K. or my favorite comedian right now is Bill Burr. Uh, I love him. I love the way that he thinks, not necessarily his delivery, his style, but just the way he thinks is totally the way that I think. Even if I don't agree with him on everything, it's still the way that I think. So, yeah, let's see. What do we got? What are your plans for the new year? The new year, I don't know. I mean, my plans for the new year just keep getting better at everything that I'm doing. Um, you know, I'm gonna try to pump out some more videos, like uh, maybe upload videos more often because I mean I think that now that my channel is starting to be exactly where I want it to be, like I don't even care um, if I get any more subscribers because this is it for me. This is where I want to be. But YouTube is like the highest priority for me. Um, I probably need to work on a lot of different. I mean, pretty much the next year, 2017 or 2017, is going to be the year where I make a lot of improvements to the way things are going for me. It's not necessarily about uh, making any big changes. It's not going to be about. It's not about having plans. I'm not going to have any plans. No plans. I don't do much at all, like ever. It's just gonna be stepping up my game in my life. You know, I gotta get things. I gotta get myself back on track. I mean, I've been getting myself back on track, but I need to. I need to stay on track and not lose it again. I've been every time it seems like I get myself together, I lose it again, and I don't want to do that anymore. So, um, so we got a few people watching right now. I do appreciate that. Um, listening to what I have to say. Um, one of the things I guess I don't know. I don't know how deep I should go right now into some stuff. I was thinking about life. I was thinking about life. That's a great thing to say because everything is life. Um, you know, I don't even know where to go from here. I mean, I pretty much already said everything I wanted to say. Like I wanted to that opening speech I gave at the beginning about standards. That was all I really wanted to say. That was all I had planned. And then let you guys know about some of the, you know, the comedy stuff. And after that, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's late. Um, YouTube. How's YouTube going for me? I don't know. You know, it's kind of hard just to figure out what I want people to say or what I want people to hear from me. What I want to say. All right. So, let's see. I was gonna make a video and I tried to record it, but it didn't turn out very well. You know, sometimes I try to record videos and they don't turn out, so I just delete them and I don't upload them. So then it's like you don't hear from me for a while. I don't upload a video for a while, and that's because it's not that I didn't want to, it's not that I didn't try to, it's just that the videos that I would have uploaded just got scrapped. So the video that I was trying to record yesterday was a video about where I just wanted to talk about something that I've heard before, which is that, oh, you know, you're successful, not talking about me, usually directed towards like actually successful people, like celebrities and famous people. But it's like this idea that you can't be really successful and depressed because it's like, hey, your life is so good, you got all this money, or you got all these people that like you, and you know, look at how good your life is, you shouldn't be depressed. But we know that's not true because you have people like Robin Williams who um sorry, I'm typing while I'm talking. who had depression. You have all sorts of celebrities that go through mental breakdowns and everything, and it's clearly not the case that you can't be depressed if you're successful. Um, yeah, one of the things that I've come to understand is that um, happiness doesn't come necessarily from reaching your goals. Obviously, you're going to be happy when you set your goals and you reach them, but it's kind of this one of these things where when you accomplish everything that you want to accomplish, then you're presented with the question of, well, what do I do next? Like, what happens now after I've gotten everything I want? Then what? Like, are you happy once you get everything you want? And I think people, I'm sure there's been stuff said about this already. I'm not the first person to think about this, but it's got to be like, I think I heard this from someone before where it was like, yeah, you get like a burst of like happiness, like a small like little bit of happiness as a response to you getting what you want, but that's a really short-lived temporary good feeling of reaching your goals. And like making a lot of money is a good example. Like you get all this money, it's like, okay, cool, like you just won the lottery or you just won money at a casino and you're like, awesome, I just got a lot of money. But then it's like, then you go back to feeling depressed, or you go back to feeling stressed out, or you go back to feeling fearful or worrying. So I think it's important for people to understand that it doesn't matter how good your life might seem to other people. Uh, you can still be depressed. I mean, like I've heard this before, where people are like, "Hey, you shouldn't be so lonely because at least you have some people in your life, like your girlfriend and your friend." And it's like, true, but I'm still depressed and I don't know why. And because, that means that there has to be a deeper issue. There has to be a deeper reason why people get depressed and why people are unhappy in their lives. And um, it's not just as simple as, well, think about how your life is as a whole and then make a decision about whether you're happy about it or not. Like, it's not about like, see, here's one of the things I noticed is that it's very easy sometimes, not all the times, but it's easy to look back on your life and like what you've done so far in terms of accomplishments. And it's easy to look back at everything and be like, man, I had a good life, like I liked what I did, and be happy because of it. But a lot of times people are depressed, or they are afraid of uh they're afraid of what's going to happen next in their life. So people worry a lot about the future because the future is unknown. And it doesn't matter how good your life has been so far, you never know if tomorrow's going to bring you a disaster. And I think that's why people might be depressed too, or why people might have anxiety, or why people might have all sorts of these crazy feelings is because people are always just looking forward. And when you look at someone else's life and you're like, hey, buddy, like, look at how good your life is. Look at how good you got it. You're living in a nice house. You got lots of money. You have people that love you. You're working at a job that you enjoy. I mean, like, why are you so unhappy? Well, it's easy for you to look at that other person and say that because you're looking at things that have already happened. But that person might be miserable because they're looking at the future. So, um, yeah, that's not to say like people people try to I think some people do come at this in a very, very reasonable way, where they're trying to say, hey, you're focusing on all the negative stuff in your life. How about you focus on the positive stuff? Stop being so negative. Stop being so depressed, which is a good thing. I agree with that completely. Uh, Something that I advise you to do is in your life is if you just think that everything is wrong with you and you think everything is wrong with your life and it all sucks, here's something you can do. Think about what you have in your life, what you've done in your life. Think about something that you have that other people, like most people, don't have. In other words, these you can think about these things as uh, what makes you a unique person compared to other people. what advantages you have, or what privileges you have, or uh, what fortunes maybe you've been able to acquire in the course of your lifetime, or have somehow, whatever. So when you can think about the things that you have that other people don't have, those are the things that you can you can take a moment to be like, okay, I should be thankful for the fact that I have this opportunity to have all that stuff. And when you take that time to be thankful for the things that are going good for you in your life, that can help balance out all the negativity and all the bad feelings that you get from thinking that your life sucks. And you might it just helps get a clearer perspective of yourself and of your life. Um, so let's see, what do we got? A few people here. Um, ever use something to cope with it? And what's up? Love your vids. Well, thank you so much. Then we got Robert saying howdy. Well, welcome guys to the chat. By the way, anybody else watching right now can leave a comment or question in the chat. Um, appreciate it. Thank you guys for participating in this. It's been very good. I'm gonna get another drink of my Pepsi because I'm thirsty. I already said this, but I'm addicted to Pepsi and soda in general. Uh, soft drinks, whatever. Here in Michigan, we call it pop. I don't know if where how common that is. I know that's not a normal thing, but yeah. All right, so cool. And I know it's not very healthy for you, but uh, yeah. So happiness, happiness. Where does happiness come from? I remember hearing a quote from Tony Robbins. It might not have been originally from him. Maybe it was though. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it was like progress equals happiness, or happiness equals progress. Here, let me look it up real quick. I'm looking it up. Uh, yeah. Progress equals happiness. Tony Robbins. Yeah. I heard that, and that totally made sense to me because what it means is basically that you are happy when you see yourself making progress in your life. You're happy. You're the most happy when you see yourself taking steps in the direction that you want to go, and you'll be unhappy if you don't think you're going anywhere. So if anything, for me, what that says when I think about it some more is if you're not doing anything, if you're not taking the action in your life that you want to be taking, like I really, really, really struggle with laziness and procrastination and just not doing anything. Um, it's this thing called do nothingism where you just want to do nothing, just like sit around and watch TV and just not do anything productive. And that's really the key word is productive. So for me, when I don't do anything productive, I immediately, over time, I regret the fact that I didn't do anything productive. And all of a sudden, I get really depressed. And that makes sense to the whole progress equals happiness thing because all it takes for me to get my happiness back, when it goes away, when I'm feeling depressed, all it takes and is for me to actually do something that I want to be doing and see and feel like I'm doing something that's making a difference for myself. So, I mean, so when I talk to you guys, when I make these videos for you, that is basically the core message that I want to put it out into the world. That is what I want to say. That is how I feel about everything. It's that, there's a lot of different reasons why people might be depressed. Some of it's because of just like maybe you need medication, maybe you don't need to talk about all this life fulfillment type of stuff, but I'm interested in the life fulfillment aspect of everything. I'm not so much a doctor or like a psychologist or whatever, so I don't know much about the physical side of depression. Like, I can't tell you how the brain works. Although I will say this, I will say that I noticed a significant difference in myself when I started changing my diet to where I wasn't eating so many processed foods, where I started drinking more water, less soda, even though I'm not really doing a good job of the soda thing. When I started doing that, I started seeing a massive change in my mental health in the way that I would think and not get so stressed out and not be so emotional. Um, Eating more vegetables, just straight, like I wouldn't eat vegetables. I would just eat meat and bad food for you, I guess. So but on the fulfillment side of everything, I will say that what I want to advocate for is for you to um I want to say that you can actually do more for yourself than maybe what you might think if you struggle with the do nothingism, if you struggle with procrastination, if you struggle with not taking action in your life. One of the best personal development strategies is uh, create a vision for yourself, create a plan about how you're going to move forward at creating that life that you want to have, and then actually just do it. And that aspect of fulfilling your goals and fulfilling what you want to do in your life, that just whole process of goal setting, planning, getting better, seeing yourself make that progress, that is gonna that is definitely gonna have a major impact on your life, of your happiness. And this is crazy. I've had kind of a wake up call this past week or so. Um, personal stuff going on, but I realized that life really is short. I remember thinking about, I remember being in middle school 10 years ago, like it was yesterday. And I know I'm only 22 and I'm still young, and some of you guys are 30 or 40 or 50 watching this right now, and you're like, oh, yeah, I bet you think life is going by. You're still really young. I get that. I know I'm young, which is why I want to take advantage of my age. I want to take advantage of the fact that I got a lot of time and I want to make it worth it. But it doesn't matter how old you are. You can still have this exact same mindset, even if you're 40 or 50, or even if you're only 12 or 13. I mean, you can still have this mindset where you realize that you only have a limited amount of time, and things can change quicker than you think, right? You think, oh, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I can still do everything I want to do. No, 10 years from now, everything's going to change. The whole landscape of society is going to change. You never know what might happen. You never know what's going to come in the way of you and getting what you want. Not only that, but you might change in that course of time to where you're not going to have the same goals. You're not going to have the same passion or drive to do what you want. So while you still have the ideas today, while you still have the passion and motivation and energy to do what you want to do, you have to take advantage of uh, of this time you have and of what you want to do right now. That's why they have the whole carpe diem, seize the day thing, because you have you have this one life and it goes by quicker than you think. And since I'm young, I don't get to really experience the whole, oh, I wish I had more time kind of thing, because I still feel like I have all the time in the world. But when I think about like how long ago middle school was for me, I'm like, when I was in 6th grade, that was like 10 years ago. I think that was like 10 years ago. Yeah, that was 10 years ago when I was in 6th grade. And I remember that so clearly. And I'm like, wow, what happened in all that 10 years? And all you have to do to kind of get this perspective about life and how short it really is to think about what your life was 10 years ago. And if you can remember what was going on, think about it. What were you doing 10 years ago? Where were you? Do you remember? And when you think about that, realize that time goes by quickly. So yeah, take advantage of your life right now. That is my, what is that? My inspirational. Not, it's not really inspirational. It's kind of actually depressing. Sometimes the depressing things are actually motivating though. You think about, oh man, one day I'm gonna die. How fucked up is that? That's motivating. I mean, are you motivated by death? I made a video about this a while ago. Um, and man, that's like the scariest thing to think about. But it's like if you knew that you were gonna die tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, but like, okay, if you know that at any single moment something could happen to devastate, uh, something devastation, whatever. something terrible could happen, that your whole life could fall apart. You could die. You could whatever. Like, would you do things differently, kind of thing? So yeah, that's depressing, but yeah. um, let's see. How are you guys doing right now? Um, all right. So this is the Kenny Stahl live YouTube live stream, video podcast, whatever you want to call it, and I appreciate you guys all being here. Um, let's see. I am I am running out of things to say, so I might end up stopping the stream soon. It's 35 minutes long. That's a pretty decent amount of time. I've been talking for a little while. Um, all right. I am tired too. I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm so glad that you guys are subscribed to my channel. Um, you know, one thing I realized about a week ago, and I said this on my last stream, was that I don't have to worry anymore about trying to impress people. I just have to be myself. I just have to be myself. I will be successful. And, I'll tell you guys, a month ago, a year ago, I could not say that. I could not say to myself, I will be successful, because for me, it's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be successful in my life. I don't know if I'm going to be happy in my life. Like, everything is kind of an option. I could be really successful. I could be really happy in the future, but I don't know. I might screw up. I might ruin my life. I might, you know, like, I didn't have the confidence in myself a year ago, especially like 3 or 4 years ago when I was going through depression. I definitely didn't have the confidence back then. But one thing that's really changed for me in the past few months is it all started when I started making videos talking about confidence. Is I found out, I realized, I discovered what confidence is and where confidence comes from and how to combat the insecurities. And I can't put it into words. I'm trying to put it into words through my videos, but I got this confidence now where I can say, I know for sure that I'm going to do all the right things in my life to make sure that I get to where I want to be. And that no matter what happens, this is the key thing that a lot of people who are really struggling in life right now, a lot of you guys who are going through hard times and who don't know, and you don't know how things are going to turn out for you. I'm at this place where I know how bad things can get. I mean, technically, things can always get worse than what you could ever imagine, but that's kind of a dark and scary thing to think about. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to say that. But I know basically how what it's like to struggle, what it's like to suffer, what it's like to not be doing so well. And the confidence that I have, the confidence that I have right now allows me to know that no matter how bad things get, I'm gonna be able to survive. I'm gonna be able to make it through it, and I don't have to feel like I'm gonna crumble and give up under that pressure. And it's that confidence, and that part of me that knows that I can get through anything in my life. And that's something that everybody who's depressed, that's something that everybody who's going through horrible times in life, they need to have that. You know, I kind of alluded to this at the beginning of the stream where I said I've been going through some really, really rough things for the past week. It's been a really rough week for me. It's personal stuff. I can't talk to you about it. But this is kind of something that I realized this week, is that, a lot of times people get to that point where they want to end their own life because like things can be so bad in your life where everything's just like, you just feel like you're suffering so much, and you feel like everything, like you just experience all sorts of pain, and you feel like you want to end your own life because that'll make the pain go away. And this is way too real for me. I apologize for going this. If you are suicidal, I mean, get help, ask for help, call a hotline, call the emergency room. Um, you know, go and get checked out, see a therapist, talk to somebody. Don't keep it to yourself. But um, anyway, like I realized that people want to end their own life because it's not about, again, it's not about like how good your life is. It's about how you feel. It's about how it's about things much greater than, you might have the best life ever. You might be successful, but you might still be suicidal. Like look at Robin Williams. I mean, he had the greatest career ever. He was super famous, lots all the money you could imagine, but yet he, you know, how, I mean, you know how that turned out, right? Like so you could have a good life. You could have a good life, but you could still feel like nothing is good enough. And you could still, so for me, one thing that I think people, what I want to tell people is that, or maybe I don't want to say that because saying it's not enough. Like I can't help you, like I can't do anything for you, but I'm gonna say what I think is true. I'm gonna be myself. Um, I'm gonna talk from my own experience. I'm gonna tell you what I think, and a lot of times the things that I think are just ideas. They might not be helpful at all. But where I want people to get to, here's the goal. The goal is to get people who are at that low point to get enough strength, whatever that means, confidence, just reassurance, whatever it is, so that when the bad stuff happens, when the shit hits the fan, when things happen in your life that are awful and disastrous and make things that, when you're presented with big major problems, that you won't break down, that you won't crumble, that you won't give up, that you, and this is the confidence that I've been able to have recently, is that even though I haven't gone through the most severe negative things in my life like some people have, okay, um, the little amounts of depression and loneliness and the small amounts of just general suffering that I've put myself through or that has happened to me, whatever you want to call it. Um, I have the confidence now to know that when it happens again, if it ever happens, that I'm not gonna give up the way that I've always been giving up. I'm not gonna let things stay bad. I can get through it, and that kind of confidence is something that I've never had before, and it's a life changing thing for me that I can know that when I'm faced with adversity, that I can overcome it. So I really, really hope that for you in your life that you can get to this place as well. I don't know how to to like just I don't know how I'm supposed to help you get there. I want to figure that out. I want to know the right things to say to help you get there, but I want to describe this idea. I want to break it down and make little videos and talk to you about this. And that is the ultimate goal, is that you will be a strong person and you can hold yourself up and you can be independent. You can be strong and powerful and confident and you can love yourself and you can do good things in the world and you won't fall victim to all the negative things that are going on and you won't succumb to all your bad habits and addictions and you will create the best possible life for yourself. I mean, that is the ultimate goal, and I mean, that is that's all I want to do. So I'm trying. I'm getting better at these videos. I have a lot to say. I I think I want to end the video here. Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of this live stream. Uh, Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Truth Walker, for leaving your comments. I appreciate everything. Um, so, all right. Bye, guys.